Lori! Wow, what a pleasant surprise. What's happening? Where are you? Hey, Maxim. Oh, I got some good shots today, Lori. Let me tell you. And they just, they just happen organically. I mean, I was talking to my kids I was standing on the wooden bridge after all these fights, and I was standing on the bridge. I was just kind of like, I didn't want to walk all the way across the bridge and go into the village. And this little girl came up to me and she's like, "Oh, can you buy some powder? Can you buy some powder?" What they do is they you get this powder and then they paint your face, and that kind of stuff. I was like, nah, I'm a little too old for that stuff. And she's like, "What about photo? So, all right, I'll take your photo." So started taking some photos of her. Then I was like, she started getting into it, so I started taking more photos. Then I'm like, all right, how much is the powder? 10 baht. I'm like, here's 20 baht, you know? So that was nice. And then this old woman, I was on the phone with my kids, and this old woman, I gotta sit right here. This old woman had this thing on her head, like a big, that big kind of like mat, and then the round thing, and then she put she was carrying, I don't know what the hell she was carrying, but it was one of those big things, she's carrying like fruit or something, right? And so she comes up, and I was like, oh, I got to take a picture of this lady. She's walking towards me, and I'm snapping shots. And then she just stands right in front of me, and I said, "Oh, Sawadee Cup, how are you? What are you doing? Where are you going?" And she started talking to me, and then she starts smiling. She's got all those red teeth, and she doesn't have teeth. She's lost some of her teeth from the betel nut. And so I start snapping them, and I'm like, "Oh, one more." I start snapping more of it, and her face is all painted. She's got the Tanaka on. I was like, "Oh man, this is fantastic." Plus I got the shots at the fights. So it was a good day. It was a good day, and the stream worked a little bit better today than yeah, those red teeth, man. They get really. I mean, they just destroyed her teeth. So yeah, but the streaming worked pretty good for the most part. I can't say pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty nice to get that. It was just it just happened. Which is what's great about kind of street photography, or travel photography. It just sometimes stuff just happens. But I got a lot of good video of the fights. I got some streaming of the fight, so it was good. You could see in that one little clip that I posted, you could see just how. I mean, man, sometimes they get, and that was not that violent. Sometimes they get really violent. You get some guys in there, they just want to hurt each other. Uh, so it was all in all, it was a better day than yesterday, which is good. So, what about you down there? What are you doing? I need to get some water. More water. What I found out is that there's a lot of people that they don't want to wake up at that time, and that's where the majority of the people are. They're not waking up, and I'm gonna put some of the stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it tomorrow. I mean, that's what I mean. I can't put all the video up because I got to edit some of it. But the streams I can just put up, but I just have to make sure that they're done in order. And they kept going out because what's happening now is that the battery is starting to degrade, because I'm streaming all the time. And so it gets really, really hot, and then it shuts down. So I need to get like a real camera, and then you need a little interface that you can plug into your computer, it makes it a huge pain in the ass because you can't just carry your phone around. So, I mean, I might have to buy like 2 or 3 phones, like a 5S or something that I can stream on. So that might be, yeah, that's what it is. It's, the streaming really pushes the limits of the phone. And I don't think you're meant to stream for, 4 or 5 hours straight and then stop and then do another 3 or 4 hours. I don't think you're meant to do that. I think you're meant to stream for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe an hour, and that's it. And then tomorrow or the next day you go stream an hour or two, and then that's it. Yeah, so I think I need to chill out a little bit. I need to stop streaming so much until I can figure out exactly how to do it. Because you always need your computer. And so it makes it a huge, no, the power bank ain't gonna do it. Power bank's not gonna do it. In fact, the power banks are so used up that I have to plug it in. I have to plug in the computer. I have to plug in the phone to the wall, so I get electricity as opposed to getting it from a battery, because they're so used that now all it does is it keeps the battery. It just keeps the battery from going down. So if it's at 85, it'll stay at 85, and that's not good. So I know that battery's going dead. So I'm gonna have to buy. The answer right now is to buy another phone, a backup phone, or a phone that I use just for streaming instead of this one, because I don't want to destroy this phone. But I wish I could put the photos up, some of the photos up, but I just got back, and I've been busy for the last 4 hours. It's an 8 plus, so now I gotta take that thing off. Let me see here. Oh shit. So when do you leave now, Lori? You leave in like what, another week or something like that? I think I saw, didn't I click like on one of your photos earlier? You leave this Sunday. Oh shit. Man, time flies, huh? That really that your time here just flew by, huh? Shit. Well, you may not think so, but I'm sure you'll be happy to be home when you get there, Well, basically, I just came on here to tell everybody that tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock, I'll be streaming. I'm going out on the lake, and I'll be going to 3 temples. They take you around the water on the lake, and you go to like you miss your doggy. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, listen, I like to travel, but it's not as fun now without my wife and my kids, And I didn't used to feel that way. I mean, I still feel like, listen, having them around, and I'm trying to take photos, it can be a pain in the ass. I got to just allot my time and say, hey, this is my time. I can't have you with me right now, or I need you as an assistant or whatever. But I can't just like, okay, let's go here and do this and do that and just say, well, I'll take a few snaps, I can't do that because I can't concentrate. But I am starting to feel like, I want them to come more, and the traveling is not so fun anymore. It's not like it used to be, I don't get as excited. And then, like now, I've been here for like, what, 3 days, and I'm already like, yeah, I do. And I'm like 3 days, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, it's fun being here, but I would rather just be with them and chilling out. You know what I mean? Like, which is preferable. But I need to do this for me and for, you know, for them also, but for me. And I needed to go, and I have had a little time to take a few photos, so fortunately I've got some photos that I like. I just need to see, you know, how much I like them, because, you know, I think, you know, I've been thinking about it, you know, because you go and you take photos. You're not out taking video and doing stuff like that, so you know what it's like. Even taking photos, it's like, it's difficult sometimes, you know. But when you're trying to do all of them, and then it pulls your concentration away, you know. So finally, I've had a little bit of time, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to record. I haven't really for the last couple of days, because I've been running around here. I haven't had much time to edit anything. You know, the thing that I posted today, the temple, I just messed around with that. I didn't even use Luminar, because I was like, I got to do this quick. I just got to get done. I don't feel like fucking around. I just don't have that much time right now, you know. I mean, because, like, when I'm done here, what is it? It's 9:30. When I'm done here, I need to go to 7-Eleven. I need to get some more stuff. Some... Yeah, well, that's it. Oh, you know, you don't need a big camera like that. I can take photos just as good as you can. Yeah, sure you can. You know, my wife says that shit all the time, and then she's like, oh, you always take too long, and you miss the shots sometimes. And I'm like, spoken like somebody who doesn't know about photography, you know, I mean, see? You know, the thing is that if you, I've studied this stuff a lot. Guys that are like really, really good, I'm talking about like National Geographic good, sometimes they shoot 15,000 photographs, and they take out maybe a dozen. You know, and they may use that dozen, but they might only put like a half a dozen in an article out of like 15,000 photos. So you think about that. Now I have been shooting with, I've been shooting with my Fuji. I've been shooting with my little Minolta, the plastic thing, because it's a point and shoot. I can just, and it's really quick. And then I'm shooting with the Nikon. So, you know. It's nice, and that Nikon, that focal length is great. You know, I really like that focal length. So I'm anxious to see how those photos come out, because I'll have the first color shots. I'll have a couple of rolls, so maybe 3 rolls of color shots. So if I got like 3 or 4 good shots out of that, I'd be really happy. You know, I'm dying to see them. But I'm also dying to, I haven't even looked at today's shots, so that's something else I'm going to do in a little bit. I'm going to look at today's shots, and maybe I'll edit 1 or 2 of them. You know. So, let's see here. We got 14 people watching, and we got 2 people that have spoken. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Sometimes I wonder, you know, like it's, I mean, when you go taking photos, sometimes you're like, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of it? You know, it's kind of like, why do you practice Zen? You know what I mean? Like, why do you practice Zen? Just because, you know, to attain enlightenment. How are you going to get to enlightenment? You know what I mean? And photography is kind of the same. Unless you're doing it as a full-time job and you're, you know. Yeah, I have a feeling that there's a lot of shy people out there tonight. They remind me of, you know, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I look at it as you're stopping time. You're stopping time, and you'll never get that time period back, you know. But you know, sometimes you take a photo and it's like, it doesn't matter the person that you shot at, like you shot a portrait, and then it's like you got a portrait of somebody from, you know, 1998, but 20 years later, it doesn't matter. They didn't age. You don't see any time difference. It's just a person. You know what I mean? Because the photography is still similar. The look of the photography is similar. You know what I mean? But when you take photos of like a background or like a street and people on the street, you know, like a New York in the 20s or something versus now, you get that time period. So you stop that, you know, and I like that. And did you photograph them? You should have shot some video. That way you could say, I went to Thailand and got some monkey porn. At least they didn't throw shit on you. If you were a guy, I would say something, but you should have seen this morning's stream, which was pretty funny because there was about 30 women, well, they're young women, 30 girls, 30 girls that were sitting next to me. They were here the night before too, but they were sitting next to me. They took away all my peace and quiet. I was sitting there and I was all alone, and it was so peaceful, so quiet, so very nice, you know. Then all of a sudden they came. The next thing you know, it's like a bunch of old women, you know, just cackling away, and all my peace and quiet was gone. So then I walked down to the lake, and there was like four girls, 3 or 4 girls, and we were just talking about how, you know, somebody said, oh, you know, they look like nice girls. They're probably university girls from. Oh, that's all right. They're probably university girls who come from good families. They look nice. I was like, uh-huh. And then I said, there's a little skank in every woman, you know? And then I went down to the lake, and you see these girls, and one of the girls was like, she saw me shooting video. She's in her bikini. This is a Thai girl. She's in her bikini, and she's like posing for me and stuff. And I'm like, I guess you're shy. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not shy at all. I'm not shy. I was like, whoa. So, and all of them were the same. And I was like, wow. I never did find out where they were from, but there's like 30 of them. And they were smoking, and one of them had a baby, you know, and they're like 22, 23 years old. They could have been university girls, or, you know, who knows? I don't know. But it was fun, you know. So anyway, so tomorrow should be good though, especially out on the lake. And then let's see here. Yeah, especially out on a lake, that should be good. And I'm gonna go tomorrow. It should be about 8 a.m. So you might be asleep. 8 a.m. It's only gonna be 8 a.m. to about 9:30 because I don't want to stream that long. And actually, sometimes that's even too long. But I'll have to cut back a little slowly because there's some people that, you know, I got to get them some content they want to watch, and so, you know, it's easier to watch an hour and a half than say 3 or 4 hours. But it should be good. Well, I don't think it's a one-on-one. We got Mike. We got what's his name, Maxim over there. You got a couple other people. So, you know. Oh, really? Are you? Isn't there like a, what do you call it? Like a sanctuary, or you know, what do you call it when they're like, you know, recuperating? They're helping the elephants recover or something. You know. Yeah, we're all open. But you know what? Like, I see the thing with this is that this kind of a chat, this kind of a stream is that I didn't give any notice to anybody. Yeah, rescue. Sorry. You know, my mind's not all here right now. I didn't give anybody any notice. I just put it up. And I know I'm not supposed to do that, but you know what? I do what I want to do. You know? But I am trying to be a little more disciplined about the lengths of the stream, and generally having a theme. And you know, like tomorrow, the theme will be I'm out on the boat. We're going out to the 3 temples. All right, that's it. Then the next stream is the one where I'll be at the arena with the bare knuckle boxing. And then the one after that will be I'm in the Mon Village. I don't even think I'm going to go back. So, no, there's not. Sorry. Discount codes for what? I mean, I don't understand. I don't have any discount codes right now, unfortunately. The village will be probably around, let me think here. I'm done at say 4 and I go chill and I have a, well, I could go eat over there. I'm gonna say around 5 o'clock, 5 maybe 6. I don't like to be over there. I don't want to be over there when it's really dark because it's hard to drive on the streets. I don't have any right now. No, I'm sorry. I don't right now. As far as the live streams, I mean, you know, I've given a lot of thought to this, and right now, you know what it is I've said this before, but the technology is not where it makes it easy to stream and be mobile. It's just not. I mean, I can't walk around unless I have like a cameraman who's carrying some box that has a, well, you know what, Lori, one way or the other, even if I just record it, I don't know, you know, I'm not sure yet if I'll stream it or not. Depends on how much time I have and when I'm finished with the afternoon boxing. But I will at least record it because I want to go there and I'm leaving the next day after that, so I don't have much time. But what I was going to say is now the way that it's set up, you either do it on your phone or you get a camera, you have a capture device, and that's plugged into a computer. So it's a pain in the ass to have to, yeah, I'll put it up on the website. It's a pain in the ass to have to carry the thing around, and you can't always do it. So I already have a chest mount, but I need to see that. I'll check out the one you're talking about, but I do have a chest mount already. But the chest mount is not gonna. The chest mount's not gonna do anything for the streaming. It's not. It's all it'll do is make it. You know, you're toggling the screen. What do you mean I'm toggling the screen? Huh? Put it up on your... I don't understand. You lost me. What I'll do is I'll either record it, like a straight video, and put it up, or I'll stream it, and then, you know, if you miss it, I'll put it up anyway. But what I'm saying is, no, if you're using the phone, you don't need that. But it's not good for the phone, and you really, like, I don't want to ruin my only phone at 8 Plus. I can go get myself a little 5S or something. As long as it shoots 1080p, that's fine with me. You go get a 5S, or whatever it is, 6 Plus, and I just carry the phone. But if I wanted to use a video camera, which is, you don't have to worry about it overheating, which is what happens with the iPhones if you use it for a long time, then you need to have the camera, but there needs to be an interface between the camera to capture the video, to capture the streaming, rather. Then it goes into the computer, you see? So that means you got to have all that shit with you. You can't just walk around with all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass. So I may have to get, you know, like some like 16 gig phone that will just record, and it does it, or stream rather, and it just streams and it does a good job at it. So I'm gonna have to look into that when I get back, because I don't want to be, you know, ruining a bunch of expensive cameras, or phones rather, just so that I can stream. It doesn't work, you know. But I mean, like, I have the DJI, the gimbal, and it works great. But again, you're using the phone. So if I want to use a camera, I can buy another gimbal, but you can't stream through the camera. So, you know what I mean? Streaming is, to me, streaming is just like putting on a TV show. You know what I mean? Except you can interact. It's actually better in a way than a TV show. But the video, it's a lot easier. You know, a lot of people have said, I need to get my kids to help, but my kids have lives, you know. Alex is going away on a camp, to a camp, you know, some thing with his school. And he'll be gone for, I think, four days, 4 nights. Nicholas has his tests that are coming up, you know, and like, they just can't do it. And plus, I can't rely on them, you know what I mean? So, it's really nice here. I do like it. I don't know if I would live here, but you know what? I could see if I wanted to just like live if I was already, you know, it's a little out there, so it always means going to Bangkok, but it's not that far. But it's a great area. I mean, it's beautiful. People are nice, but there is the burning and pollution and shit like that. You know. But it's a nice place to visit, for sure. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite areas. Oh yeah, this place is awesome. I really like this. I like this hotel room. Let me do something here. See, I got all my gear sitting on my bed. I don't know if you can see it. It's so dark out you can't even see that. Oh, they're already closed up. What time is it? It's almost 10. Well, it'd be nicer if you could see. But that's the way it goes. You know, I mean, what am I gonna do? You know, how am I gonna get around it? You know, like, I gotta use my Nikon, the new Nikon. I gotta break it in, learn about it. Well, look, I mean, like, check it out here. They give me twins, right? Got the chairs here. It's not bad, you know? And of course, you gotta have a nice crapper. Shower's pretty good. So yeah, I've been using the Nikon F2, and it does work really good. It's a little loud. That's about the one negative, and it's a little slow. But yeah, I mean, well, I don't move around a lot on the bed. So I wish they would have just gave me one big bed, but usually I throw all my gear on one place. I did record. Oh shit, I recorded. I hope I turned it off. Oh, I did. My wife's not here now. If that's what you meant. Let me see here if I can get this thing to play. I recorded all the audio. Yeah, 950 baht. It's a good deal. You know, it's a guest house though, so they're a little slow sometimes with the service and everything. But you know, it's not a big deal. That's the only negative, and they're not big negatives. If they're taking a long time and you want to pay your bill instead of like, you know, getting pissed off about it, you just go and get the bill yourself. It's not a big deal, you know, that kind of stuff. So let me see if I can get this to play here. I want to hear the audio. Let me see here. Yes. I had a lot of little kids, man, hanging around because they try to get up on the ring. Hey, Dutch Buddhist, man, what's happening? Long time. Gotta get me some orange juice. Um, yeah, long time no speak. Yeah, there's a lot of little kids at the fight, and they all want to, yeah, they're pretty good. Well, I mean, some of the fights were great. There was one guy who threw a left hook, hit the guy square on the chin, knocked him out flat, knocked him flat on his back, knocked him out. There was a couple bloody ones. You know, they were pretty good, but you know, they get wild. Their hands are not real good, but their elbows and knees and kicks are good. So yeah, let's see here. Importing the daughter from the wife. I like that, importing. Yeah, somebody said, oh, do you want to get in there? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I know. First of all, I used to say all the time, I'm not getting in that fucking ring unless I'm in fucking shape, man. I mean, I better be fit. You got to be so fit that you go, nobody's going to be more fit than me. And I'm too goddamn old and out of shape to ever say that right now. So I was like, you kidding me? I'm not getting in there. Hell no, man. But they're very good about stopping the fights. Like immediately some guy gets cut, boom, they stop it. They just go, that's it. Now, if the guy will get out of the ring, somebody else will go in and fight. And one or two fights, not now I wouldn't. I mean, maybe some young kid or something, some young guy who didn't have any skill. There was a couple guys that didn't have skill. I mean, they just were just like going like that and, you know, they just wanted to fight. But that's how you pick up skill, so. There ain't a chance in hell I'd fight in there now, man. But they were very friendly, man. You know, I'm telling you, yesterday and today and tomorrow, after the fights and even during the fights, I've already put the videos up of that. There's video of me on my Facebook of me throwing combinations and stuff like that. I mean, you know, somehow I don't think I compare to Mayweather, but what the hell was I saying? Oh, afterwards, yeah, they have all the women, not all the women, but some of the women, all the people in the community get together, and they put a big spread of food out. They have all of these containers of just like food that the women have cooked. Like it must be like, okay, you're responsible for this, you cook that, you cook this, you cook that. And they bugged me yesterday to eat it, and I was like, I can't eat that, man. I don't think so, you know. I'm waiting. And I was actually full because I had eaten. But I was also like, I don't know if I want to eat their food. You know, it's like a huge amount of food being cooked. And so finally today I went, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to eat it. And so, you know, they served me, yeah, and you don't pay anything. You can go back and eat as much as you want. But what they do when they're cooking rice, it's phenomenal. I've never seen it before. They have these big flames that they put like a pit, like it's a trough. And they put this, I have photos of it and I have some video of it. And they basically put this big tube above the flame. And then they have like, almost like you're cooking like biscuits or donuts or something. There's just like one layer, then another layer, then another layer, then another layer. There's like 10 layers, right? And it's like a cake, what do you call it, dish or whatever. It's round and it's about that thick and it's filled with rice, okay? And so I guess they have. I don't remember if they have water on. Yeah, I think they have water on the bottom. And what happens is they have all these layers of rice inside of the tube, and it's closed up, and the fire's under it, so it heats up the water, makes steam, and then the steam cooks all the rice. So they get this massive amount of rice. They have two of them going at all times. So they have this massive amount of rice being cooked. And then there's like 3 or 4 ladies who. I thought I put that up. No, I didn't. They like 3 or 4 ladies that are just passing out rice. People would come. I took photos of like their hands, you know, giving the people the food, and then the people giving them the food. And then everybody goes and sits at like a cafeteria, like that's covered up. It's outside, but it's like kind of like a cafeteria, you know, just bench seats. And everybody will. What they do is they get a dish. They put the rice on there. Then they go around till they have started the line, and then they'll look at what they got, and the lady go, oh, try this, you know, and, oh, you might like this. So I knew I was gonna like the potatoes, the curried potatoes. So I was like, oh yeah, give me the curried potatoes. And it was like, oh, give me the cucumber. So I had that, and then I had some meat. I don't know what it was, mystery meat. I think it was pork. That was really good. And you know, they gave me this mound of food. And I was like, wow, it's so good, you know. And then people are like, you like it? You like it? And what's funny is they're like Burmese, but they speak Thai. So I can talk to them no problem, you know. But then every once in a while I would say, you know, Mingala Ba or whatever. I'd say, you know, Jeju Bay, which is thank you. Mingala Ba, which is, you know, like Sawati Cup. And they would, oh, you know. Ralph, how you doing? How you doing, Ralph? So yeah, I mean, you know, their hospitality is fantastic. You know, I mean, how many places do you know where people do that? I mean, you know, maybe like a church or something. You go social or something like that. Maybe they do that, but not anywhere I've been involved in because I never went to church. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I know tomorrow if I want, I'd go there. And really, if I really wanted, I really didn't have to spend very much money aside from the hotel room. I got a motorcycle. I rented a motorcycle. You know, which is a little bit of an expense, but it's. I guess other than that, really, you know, food is about the only thing. That's it. You know, I haven't had to pay for anything, and you know, like I said, I could go over there and get a meal. And then there's a lady that's near the temple that I've gone and ate at her place 3 days in a row. And so, oh, good. And so, like, you know, the first day I was like, oh, can you tell me where's the boxing, you know? And she's like, oh, boxing. I said, yeah, boxing. Oh, it's up there. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, I have the. Well, you gotta have it here actually. Otherwise, it's a massive pain in the ass. You got to tell the guy at the you know, the front desk, who's very nice. You got to tell him, hey, I need a ride. Okay, well, this is how much it is. Or he'll go get you a taxi. And then, you know, they got to wait around for you. Or you tell them, I want to, you know, come back at this time, and you got to have somebody pick it. So I was like, fuck that. You know, it's 300 baht, which is, you know, it's a little expensive for a motorbike per day, but I figure, you know, I just be careful. Just use it when I need it. And it helps out. You got that freedom, you know. So I was thinking actually maybe if I didn't go to the bridge, or maybe if I did go to the bridge, I'd just go for a few, like an hour. And then after the bridge, I'd go, where was I going to go? I can't even remember. I was going to go for a drive out in the country, in the countryside a little bit, and, you know, take a look at it because there are some really cool places. The last time I went to this place that you needed a 4-wheel drive to get to, and it was pretty good, you know. Okay, Ralph, you take it easy, man. Yeah, there'll be some videos coming up soon. If you were not married, would you ever consider a Burmese wife? Dude, I mean, you know I'm married, right? Oh, I got a story to tell you, Lori. And also, I mean, like, if I'd marry a Thai, why wouldn't I marry a Burmese? You know, I mean, it just depends. You know, how do I know? You know, if she was a bitch, I wouldn't marry her. You know, if she was nice, maybe I would. Everything was cool with her. Lori, you missed it though. I think the other day. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? I took the motorbike, and I had the camera in one hand, and I was holding it while I was in one hand while I was holding the handlebar, and I was just driving, right, or the hand grip or whatever. So I had that. I was grabbing the hand grip and the camera, and I was driving, and I forget what it was. I think there's a problem with the stream, and so I pulled over to the side. And then I turned the motorbike off, and then I was like, I turned it back on. I was like, what the fuck, man? I can't turn it back on. I said, what's going on? And so I was like, shit. I pushed it across the street, went over to into the shade, and yeah, well, I forgot my clamp for my GoPro, so I would have just recorded it, but. Anyway, I go over to the side in the shade, and there's this guy sitting there. I go, hey, man, you think you can help me out? You know what's wrong with this? Because I haven't drove one of those little fucking tiny little toy bikes in years. He goes, oh, he starts looking around. He goes, oh, bat mot, you know, which means battery's finished. It's done. It's no juice. And so I was like, oh, man, I wonder if it's the alternator. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to call this guy up. I'm like, ah. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Kickstarter. So I see this thing, and I'm like, oh, that's Kickstarter. Then I start trying to push it down, and I'm like, man, this thing is locked to it looked like to the center stand. I'm like, I don't think it's a Kickstarter. So then this kid comes along and goes, oh, let me try. So he goes to the Kickstarter, and it had been really wedged, you know, like almost like welded together by the heat because it had never been used, but it was the Kickstarter. So he starts kicking it. He can't start it. So then this guy across the street yells at him something. He's like, oh. He puts the kickstand down because he had the kickstand up because the center stand was being used. So the kickstand, he puts the kickstand down, boom, he kicks it and it starts right up. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, well, I better go back to the hotel because I better show them that, you know, hey, there's a problem with the battery. And so I come back, and the guy kind of runs, you know, he's like worried, I guess. He goes back. He's like, what's the problem? What'd you do? I said, no, I didn't do anything. I said, I just stopped and I couldn't get the thing to start. I think the battery's done or something. This little light went on. He goes, okay. So he turned the switch, and the exact same thing happened. And then he goes, 1, 2, 3. He turns it on, and it starts right up. And I go, what the fuck? I was like, oh, well, I'm glad it starts. I'm like, you know, I was worried I did something or something's wrong or whatever. No. And so then he goes, oh, you have to wait a couple seconds till it cycles and it's ready to start. And you got to hold the left brake. So it's built in. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, you need to make sure that the kickstand is up. If the kickstand is down, it's not going to start. And I was like, oh, shit. So all it was that I had to hold the left brake and make sure that the kickstand was up and just wait for it to cycle. And then I just click the button, you know, click it, and it starts right. Well, it's not that big of a deal, Lori. I mean, you just turn the key, you make sure the kickstand's up, as it should be, because you're not going to go anywhere with the kickstand down. And then you got to make sure you're holding the brake so that if you hit the gas a little bit, you don't fly away, you know. But it was funny because here I am thinking, oh shit, I don't know what's wrong, I don't know what's going on, and facts, life, reality, dude. First of all, I've ridden like 25 motorcycles in my life. What I'm talking about is these are like mopeds. I haven't ridden one in about 10 years, but I've ridden motorcycles many, many years. So the only thing is I didn't know that this was built into their motorbike, because it wasn't that way when I rode it the last time. And what happened was there were kids would be sitting on a motorcycle, and the kickstand was down, and they'd just be sitting there, but the parents would leave the keys in the ignition, and the bike was what do you call it, in neutral. And then the kid would play around with the bike and hit the gas, and then the bike would fly off and the kid would get hurt. And so they put this safety mechanism in where the kickstand goes down, and then you can't start the bike. So the parents couldn't keep the bike idling, you know. So, who are you, Facts, Life, Reality? Really? Why do Thais treat Burmese so badly? I don't know, you tell me. You know, why do Thais treat some foreigners badly? Why do foreigners treat some Thais badly? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go with that? You know? I know some, what's so funny is that you make this generalization, but yet I know some people that work for a shipping company, Burmese kids that work for a shipping company, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is that where are your facts coming from? Why do they treat them so badly? I mean, is it that unusual that sometimes people treat people badly? But the other thing is, what I was going to say is, this shipping company that I know, there was one particular shipping company I know, and the guy was an older guy. He was a great dude. I got to know him a fair bit, and well, I don't know if it's observation or what it is. It's a comment, and what I'm saying is, I know not only that guy who treated those kids like they were his kids. They were treated very, very well. And then there's another place where they make equipment, and I'm not going to talk about what it's for or whatever, but because I don't want to give it away. But they make equipment, and basically they put these people in like dormitories that are very, very nice by Thai standards. They're excellent. And they give them bonuses, like they'll give them a motorcycle as a bonus, stuff like that, because they appreciate the work they're doing. So I don't think that that's really always true. But I will say this. If they are treating them badly, some of it may have to do with their history, you know? I mean, if you could say that, you could make the case that Thais don't treat any neighboring country, the citizens of any neighboring country, very well. They don't, if you say to them, do you like Cambodians? No, I don't like them. Do you like Chinese? No, I don't like them. But they respect them, the Chinese and the Vietnamese. Burmese, Laotians, you could say that they don't like them also. But then, you know, you get them face to face and they don't have a beef with them. You know, they don't hate them. So, you know, and in here, think about something. I'm in an area right now where Thais, Burmese, and Mon all live in relative harmony. So that's why I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, where are you getting your information from? What is this? Great show, Scott. I'm living in London at the moment, thinking of selling up, doing what you're doing. Love your videos. Please don't stop everyone so much. Well, thank you, Martin. I wouldn't plan on moving up and try to do what I'm doing. Oh, boy. Hey, Siam. How you doing? Well, actually, this is, right now, the theme is the Sangkhlaburi Wrap-up. Anyway, so, but in answering your question, if you think about it, yeah, I mean, if anybody is not cordial, I don't understand it. And I've been going over this with a couple of people who have a lot of experience in their, as far as time in Thailand and in Asia. And I have to say that, how can I say this? I want to be tactful about this. Um, but there is no place like Thailand when it comes to way um, expats treat each other. I mean, I go into the mall, and I go there all the time. I've been going there for many, many years. And there are guys I see all the time. I say, hey, what's going on? And sometimes I'll see them at a coffee shop or something like, hey, buddy, how you doing? We'll sit down and chat. We don't have any problems at all. Then there are others that, they just walk by and you don't ever say hello to them or anything, and I don't say hello to them, and, I don't have any problems with them. But there are people who, and, I'm not saying you got to be friendly to everybody. I'm not the most friendly guy. I don't just go up to guys, hey, buddy, how you doing, man? Where you from? What's your story? Hey. I'm just not that kind of a guy. It takes a little time. So if anything, I think it's the expat community here. I don't know why they're like that. Somebody said to me it was jealousy, sex, and money. It has to do with those three things. Well, you know what? Also, Lori, I think you are probably not somebody who is. You're not some guy who's like trying to push your weight around. You know what I mean? And I don't mean weight, in the physical sense. I just mean you're not trying to get pushy with them, And Thais don't do well with that pushiness and that. They don't like it. Who does? I don't really, generally, I don't have many problems with Thais, but the only problems I have are with with the taxi drivers, and it's only been recently, and I think a lot of it has to do with the increased traffic in Bangkok. There's a lot of places around my house and a lot of places where I go that are under construction, and so it takes a lot more time to get through these places. And I think the taxi drivers are like, man, this sucks. I'm not making as much money. I'm sitting here for longer, and they're pissed off. And also because they generally think they don't make a whole lot of money, I don't know. I mean, I got expat friends that have been here one guy's been here for 24 years, another guy's in here for 23. Like Tom, the guy that was on the other day, I think he's been here I don't think he's been here 15 years. I think he's been here like 13 or 14. I think that's what he told me before. But who was that other guy? He's been here like 6 years. There are guys that stay here for a long time, but there are some people, just go on Thai Visa. There are some very knowledgeable, helpful people on Thai Visa, but there are a shitload of just bitter motherfuckers, man. Actually, I think it's just about that, people use caution before they start becoming friends with anybody. It's different if you're like, hey, buddy, I'll see you at the club. I'll see you at the bar. That might be part of it. What you're saying might be part of it, for sure. Because people do tend to go, whether they fall on their ass, they had enough of it, or they want to go home, or whatever it is. Yeah, I can, that may be part of it. But I also think that, like in my case, I try to be very careful about who I spend my time with. And all the expats, except for maybe two or three, they're probably my three closest expat friends, and I spend a little bit of time with them. Sometimes I'll go over to their house or their apartment. I'll go out to to lunch with them or something. Maybe have them over for dinner. But like a lot of the guys that I'm talking about, it's like we might meet in a coffee shop. Hey, you want to go get something to eat? Yeah, all right, let's go. And that's it. Because Um, if you know anything about expats in Thailand, you know that a lot of expats, um, well, not a lot. There are some expats that you have to be careful. You have to be careful who you're hanging out with. You know. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I don't have much trust. Why am I going to trust a bunch of people who come over here? For what? Just because they came here? You know what I mean? It's you gotta put the time in, just like with a chick. Well, yeah, I mean, stuff like that's like, what? No. I mean, that's for me, that's easy. And I don't have to be a dick, but I'm like, hey, nobody's borrowing, but you can't borrow any of my, you can borrow my shit cameras maybe, not somebody that I just met, but like a buddy, I wouldn't even let him use my cameras now, I wouldn't let him use it. But maybe I'd let him use an old one that I had that I didn't really care. Like I let my sister's kids, what is that, my niece and nephew, uh, I let them use my cameras when we were traveling around and we went to like Kanchanaburi, and I let them use it because you know what? I figured, hey, if they break it, it's not going to matter to me. But would I let them use something else? Like some camera that I really I like or something else? No way, Oh God. And you can't unsee it, can you? It can't be unseen. I guarantee, I should go out on right now I should go out on it's too late though. I should go out on the road right now and go to 7-Eleven. It's like the roads are completely empty. It's pitch black and they're completely empty. Yeah, I'm sure Blueport's the best. Blueport's the best, but you know what? You don't want to see some old guy wearing them, wearing Speedos, crossing the main road. That's the other thing. It's like, I don't know. I've always been this way. I'm careful who I choose as my friends, I try to be. Sometimes I'm wrong. Well, some people do. And some people, well, I'm not going to go there. They wear fisherman's pants and they stink and they think it's okay to put their feet up on the back of somebody's chair, like on a train, stuff like that. And then they get shit for it and they didn't understand why. And it's like, class is not always about not always monetary. Huh? What? Lots of bow? Lots? What? Oh, B-O. Oh, God. Yeah, well. I got 2 sons. That's all I got to say. And they're constantly, take a shower, you stink. No, you stink. Well, just go take a shower. I mean, what's the problem? You want to be stinky? You want to be the stinky kid? Go take a shower. It's just today, Nicholas is complaining to me. Alex needs to take a shower. He stinks. I was like, Alex, go take a shower. If you're stinky, go take a shower. I'm going to. So he goes and takes a shower. Then I talk to him. Nah, this place is dead, man. Dead. Actually, I think there's a place across the river where there's like it's not a disco. It's not even a, what do you call it? Not even a karaoke. It's just some like restaurant that they have music and people go there. But it's still, I mean, you're talking about 10 o'clock, it's closed. I'm serious when I say, if I went right now to 7-Eleven, the streets would be empty, and then as soon as you got to 7-Eleven, there would probably be 10, 15 people just standing around, eating food, drinking, stuff like that. That's one thing here that I don't particularly like is that they don't. It's a guest house, so you don't have like if I wanted to reach in and get a juice, they don't have juice. I got to go buy my own juice. It's not a big deal, you know, but it's just not as convenient because I don't want to go out right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna. But if I did want to, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But it's worth it. Anyway. Facts, life, reality. Every time I see that, I think of you take the good, you take the bad. What is it? The facts of life. I hated that show. Maybe it's you, Lori. I don't think so. You know what's worse than a guy who stinks? A girl that stinks. Oh, that's horrible. Not that I've ever known a woman who stank. What is it? You take it all and then you have the, you take the good, you take the bad, you take it all and then you have the facts of life, the doo-doo, facts of life. Ugh. That was the goofiest show. And supposedly it was groundbreaking. I just can't. I'm glad that show. What was that one chick's name? The high soap chick who thought she was hot shit, and she wasn't. Well, she thought she was. I wonder if there's any like big stars who, you know, like I was thinking, it makes me think of that show. I'm thinking of, were there any big stars like on that show, or just, you know, any of the kids that were on the show, and like the other kids would be like, oh man, I wish that chick would just take a shower 'cause she stinks. She got BO. Oh God. Oh gosh, I'm wondering if this is, you know, facts of life. I'm kind of wondering, you know, if this is BT. Oh, that's right. George Clooney was on the on that show. I just remember thinking, oh, I want something to watch. Oh, the Facts of Life is on, and I'd start watching it, and I'd be like, ah, what am I watching this dribble for? I just can't watch this shit, you know. Oh, that was the one that I liked. What was her name? Jo. Yeah, I liked her. I liked her. She's a little more my style. Blair, I would have been like, I would have pulled a Lori. Shut up. I mean, shut your mouth, woman. You be whining too much. I wonder whatever happened to those. I think the one Jo, she continued acting for a long time. But I don't know about the other ones. Now that song's gonna be in my head. And that song's gonna be in my head now for days. What time is it? 10:27. Oh, I figure I'm giving it 25 more minutes. If I can last that long. Facts, life, reality, you seem vaguely familiar. For some reason. We get it. Facts, life, reality. You're a seasoned expat. Stop hijacking the Steam stream, bro. I'm just gonna like kick back and like watch everybody talk here. I like that. Did I turn off the, let me see here. I thought I turned it on. What is it? Should be a headache, man. Is it? I was wondering. There are some things I'm gonna put in the Nightbot shortly. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it right now. Is it bad luck to whistle at night in Thailand as the Thais think you're a calming ghost? Fuck, I don't know. I can't keep up with all that shit. You know, with the ghosts and the I can't keep up with that shit because I don't believe in ghosts, and I'm sorry if they do, but you know, like, I don't believe in them. So am I supposed to run scared shitless because, you know, I'm whistling? No. You know, it ain't gonna happen. Let me see something here. Whatever happened to NWO Elite? I wonder what the deal is with him. Where is he? So, I take it everybody is extremely thrilled that I'll be out in the water tomorrow, getting my red head fried like a tomato. Not that long. But what is your other channel's name? What is it? It's let's see here. Yeah, and I wore my hat today too. I think I took a picture of it. Yeah, I did take a picture of it. I wore my hat. No, but I kind of want to know the exact name of your other channel. It's for a reason. Because I think, well, just if you tell me the other name of the channel, or your whatever your old channel's name was, I'll explain it to you. And it's for your benefit. Which, by the way, I was thinking about doing a video talking about how, oh, didn't you get banned? Didn't I ban you? No, I understand that, but I banned. No, I know, I remember you because if you remember, I met you and I remember your channel, but I'm trying to, my nose itches. I don't think I banned you because you were a fake channel. I banned you because of some of the things that you said. Which I could probably tell you if I, the thing is, it'd take me a fucking hour to figure it out. I didn't want to figure it out. So, but what I'm wondering is, why did you say those things that you said before? See, I don't want any drama in my channel, man. So don't bring, if you're going to come back with a different channel, you know, I guess that's fine for now, but don't talk shit like you did before, man. I don't want any of this fucking drama in here. And what I was going to say is that I may do a video in the next couple of days. Oh, man. Because I saw something that somebody has that says something like, you know, it's YouTube. And I mean, you know, it's YouTube. It ain't life and death, man. It's not like, you know, every time I go on YouTube, I want to go to war with somebody or I want to get into this battle. And I don't fucking need this shit. I want to have a good time. I want to have fun. You know, I don't mind talking and having good conversation. I'm just saying, I don't need any fucking drama. That shit's done from this channel. And if I hear any more talk about other vloggers, anybody, you know, like pushing to get other, you know, what are your thoughts on this guy? You know, that kind of shit, I'll fucking ban them right away. Because I just don't want that shit anymore, you know? I've been talking about this to a couple of people, and they all say the same thing, you know, just ignore them and ban them. Ignore them and ban them. And, you know, I try to be reasonable with people, but listen, I don't remember what you said or what you did exactly. I don't remember. I could find out if I really wanted to. But the point is that I remember distinctly that you were saying some things that either weren't nice or that we were just going, what the fuck? I didn't even think it was you. I thought it was a fake channel. Because I didn't think you would be like that. So, you know, I just don't want any more drama. That's what I'm saying. So, if everything is cool with you, then fine. I don't have a problem. But that shit, all this shit with people coming in, I don't want to know about Graham. I don't want to know about this guy. I don't want to know what I think about that guy. And do you know this guy? Have you met that guy? It doesn't matter. None of it matters because that ain't important to me. You know? What's important is I just have a smooth, easy ride. Because if I don't, what's the fucking point of me doing it? I want to have fun, man. I ain't got that much time left, you know? Well, oh, it was about the shooting or something. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to come back to me. Just don't talk about it anymore, all right? I don't want to get into it right now. That's the way that we'll play it, all right? So, but yeah, I want, you know, like if there's people out there that are listening, and Lori, you know, you've always been very tolerant of other people, and you know, nobody's really giving you a ton of shit, but people have teased you or whatever, you know. And some people would take that the wrong way. They would, if they had thin skin, you know. So that's cool. But you know, I mean, like, it's YouTube. It's not a life and death battle. I think that gets away from some people sometimes, and I don't want it to get away from me. So. Oh, and you know, by the way, I don't know if anybody knows, but I don't know the whole story about it. And this is exactly why that I'm talking about this, that I don't want this drama. This is one of the reasons. There's a guy that I watch sometimes. I thought he was an Aussie, but I guess he's a Brit. His name is Ben Brown. And he's let me see. Let's see. Mr. Ben Brown. He's got 710,000 subscribers, okay? Apparently, he has something called Bell's palsy with half of his face. And from what I was told, from what my buddy told me, it's from stress. you know. And just like I don't particularly want to get in the fucking boxing ring anymore, because, you know, I mean, like, people get hit. I don't particularly feel like getting hit anymore. I've already been hit enough. And, you know, I know how I feel now compared to before. And so I don't want that. That's a physical thing. And I don't want the stress, you know. And if it can happen to him who's young, fairly young, why wouldn't it happen to me? You can have a stroke, you can have, you know, heart attack, you can have all kinds of stuff happen to you, and it's just not worth it. So I think I'm going to do a video about that. I just have to think about how I want to word it and what I want to say. But for the most part, it's basically, you know, YouTube is supposed to be something where it's fun and revealing and, you know. Tomorrow morning, Fidelity, you'll be sleeping, man. 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go out on the lake and go to the temples. There's a couple temples all around. There's a sunken temple, which is basically, depends on where the tide is. And then there's one that's kind of on just barely on land. And then there's another one that's up on a hill. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So, you know, so Fidelity, what we were talking about is, we were talking about how all this, there's so much drama in Thailand about the vloggers and this and that, what he said, she said, and I just don't want that shit anymore. None. I don't want to know about all these other, you know, he said, she said, you know. I don't want to know about all that shit. I've cleared up everything myself, so I don't want to get into that. But what I was saying is that a buddy of mine goes, hey, man, you know, it's just not worth it. Remember the guy that you said you like? And I said, well, I like him more of it. I don't particularly like, there's a guy named Fun for Louie or Fun with Louie. I never have liked the guy's stuff. You know, it's nothing against him. He might be a nice guy, but I just don't like his stuff. But I like Ben Brown's. And he was in Africa, so I was watching some of his stuff. It's a couple of weeks ago. And my buddy told me, he goes, oh, he's got like Bell's palsy, and his face is paralyzed. Half of his face is paralyzed, and supposedly it's from stress. So, you know, when I think about that, and I think about all this shit, I'm like, it's supposed to be fun. Chowderhead videos, I mean, you know, yes, they can be enlightening. And there is a video I want to do. It's in response to what a guy said. I did the, what is it? I didn't know that. I have to listen to that. God damn it, I forgot what, you know, I got a memory, my memory is about a half a second long, and then I just can't remember shit. So that can't be a good thing, too. Yeah, I forgot. I'm laughing, but I'm not. Well, yeah, you know, this is the thing. When, well, come on, are you all that stressed out right now? I mean, you know, there's no reason why you shouldn't be, you know, kicking back with a margarita or whatever you want, your favorite frosty drink with a couple of female friends, enjoying yourself. There's no reason you shouldn't be doing that. Not at the moment. Yeah, I mean, you know, and the thing is I got enough stress in my life. There's a lot of shit people don't even know. I got stressed about things people don't even know about. And I don't want them to know about it. They don't need to know about it. It doesn't matter. It's my business, you know. And that's the thing, you know, YouTube, it's supposed to be something that's, oh, I know what I was going to say, the Chowderhead thing. I don't want to be doing Chowderhead videos, at least not all the time, because it's a waste. People don't listen. But this guy, I wrote about the opposite of a Chowderhead, and I've met the guy, talked to him a couple times, exchanged emails and stuff, and his expectations were very high, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it can be, though. So he wrote back in response, and I want to respond to his response because he makes some good points. You know, and this is the thing. This is another thing I was talking to my buddy about. How, you know, listen, people like the chowderhead videos because they like to think that somebody else is stupid, because maybe it makes them feel like, well, I'm not that guy, so I must be more smart than him. You know what I mean? And it's not always true. Yeah, no worries, man. You know, I don't hold a grudge for something like that. I do hold a grudge, but not for something like this. It's not a big deal. You know, we all have our opinions. And sometimes we can agree. That's the thing. We can agree to disagree. There are things that, you know, people can discuss. And that's the whole thing, too, is that if you can discuss something, you're ahead of the game, because look at how things are nowadays. You say one keyword and people get fucking triggered and they get pissed off, and they, you know, you got to be able to sit down and talk, because if you don't, then you're just like an animal. You know, you respond to what somebody says, and then you can't discuss it. So, anyway. So this is going to be the happy channel from now on. We're all going to be happy and put on our happy faces. I wouldn't go that far. But it should be fun tomorrow. What time is it? How much time are we going? 8 minutes. I don't think it'll ever be PG-13. It might be like between rated R and X. But I've been to where I'm going tomorrow. I wouldn't call them fantastic places, but they are definitely unique. They're very different from what you might think. You know, like when you think of a temple, it's different from. They're different from what you think they're going to be, and the sunken temple, it really depends on the tide and how low it is and how high it is to what we can see, and if I'll even be able to walk around on one of the places. But they're cool to see. It might be nice to, you know, cruise around on a boat. Like I said, I forgot my my clamp. I need to make a list of all my equipment and then make it into a checklist so I don't forget, because, you know, I forget things. And I had the fucking thing out. I really wanted it out so I could film while I was streaming. So I may have to do a double, I might have to do it twice, you know? So I can film when I'm not streaming, and so I can stream when I'm not filming. Something like that. So, anyway. Well, you know, not a huge stream tonight, but I didn't expect it to be, because I just did it on the spur of the moment. And this is going to stop, actually. The spur of the moment streams, they're going to stop. You know, maybe once a year. Streaming 3 times a week, it's going to stop. I got to start concentrating on what I like to do. And, you know, I've been saying that for a while now, but... yeah, a rant once in a while is okay, but I don't want it to be the focus of my channel, because it's not who I am. You know, if you think that I don't play up to the camera in the chowderhead videos, then you'd be mistaken, because I understand what people are saying and how some people might want to respond. But like if I sat down with a buddy or something and I was talking to him about some chick, I might be like, hey dude, wake the fuck up. But I don't think I might not be so harsh with him, because I already know dude's gonna do what dude's gonna do, you know? So, this is evolution, actually. And it's funny, because my buddy said to me the other day, he said, you know, we're doing he's got his own channel, I got my channel. He's like, you're doing something that really doesn't get done very often on YouTube, or hasn't been done before. And like in Thailand, you know, people stream, but they may not stream exactly the same way I do, and their focus is not the same as mine. I'm actually, hello Redirect, how's it going? You know, I'm trying to get these things to work, and I don't like failing, you know. I don't like falling down and things not working. But with the technology that we have right now, it's gonna happen sometimes, you know. Redirect, I do have. We did get some streaming in today. There's about 2 hours of streaming and also a bunch of video. So they'll go up. They'll be on soon. But you know, I've got tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go out and go out on the water, and then in the afternoon I'm gonna do the boxing, and then after that I'm gonna do something else. So. Well, I'm not a fake person, you know. What really gets me is there was a guy that was on some channel before, and the guy was like, oh, he's fake, man. Scott Mountain's a fake guy. I'm like, fuck, I don't even know who you are, and you're saying this shit. You see, the thing is I know how many people I truly know and who truly know me. Know me how I am. They know how I live, how I think, what I've done in the past. Not just, you know, oh, I used to work, you know, with boxers. I used to work with this company or that company. None of that shit. I'm talking about they really, really know me. There's very few people, you know. Oh, shit. I'm not sure about that. You know, I want to find. I haven't even had a chance to plug in the. I got like 5 external hard drives, and I haven't had a chance to plug in one of them yet. It's something I need to do because I may have 1 or 2 of them, but I deleted them because I was like so fucking pissed off that day. I don't know what else to say. I was pissed off that day. I was in a bad mood, man. That was not good because the thing was going so good. Everything was going so good. The stream was going so good. Okay, well, thanks. But what I'm saying is the stream was going so good that day. For the first 20, 25 minutes or so, it was going good. And I was like, all right, well, this might be a little fun. And then when I see something happen like that, I'm like, I knew something wasn't right. And, you know, by the time I got home, I knew it was that little symbol. And I was like, shit, if I would have known that, I could have done it. I could have said, listen, give me 10 minutes. I'm going to download the app and I get it done. But I didn't. So something I'm thinking about doing is, well, I'm not thinking about it. I am going to do it as soon as possible, is I'm going to take a look at the iPhones and see, you know, what the quality is between the 5 and the 6 and the 7 and get the cheapest one. And just use that just for streaming, and that's it. And I'll burn out a couple batteries on it, use it as long as I can, and then, you know, I don't have to use the one I've got now. So I didn't know that it really puts that much strain on your I wonder if my battery's even charged. I have to charge my battery with electricity now. Yeah, well, it might be the best, but it, you know, like, I mean, if it's like, oh, that's going to be 25,000 baht, and if it's, well, the 6 Plus was good because that's what I used to stream on, and the 5S was pretty good. I need to look at the specs and see. Let me see something here. I can probably do this right while I'm online. Specs of iPhone 5, 6, and 7. I doubt I'll be buying the 7. Let's see here. What's the difference between the 6S, 6, 5S, and 5? Should you upgrade? Yeah, I have the 6. My wife's got it now, and she likes it. Let's see, where is it? Did they tell you? What is it here? Okay, these are the sizes. Let's be real here. iPhone 6, you're not going to notice the size. 3D, I don't give a shit about all this stuff. All I want to know is the video, the camera capability. That's it. All right, let's see. Okay, iPhone 5, 8 megapixel sensor, 2.4 aperture, 1080p video recording, which is great. 1080p, okay, 6, okay, the 6S has a 12 megapixel sensor, so I'm assuming the 6 Plus probably has that also. So, yeah, man, sure. Because this, I mean, you know, the 5S is, the sensor is not great, but a 1080p is 1080p. It's going to be good enough. Even if it was 720, it would be probably be good enough. So, one way or the other, I need to get one of them. Why? You don't use it? See, I had one before. Oh, you have the 6S now. You like the 6S? I had the 6 Plus. 6S or 6S is improvement over the 6S and a major leap forward for anyone coming from the iPhone 5S. Listen, as long as I don't give a shit what it is, to be honest. I don't care if it's well, I do care if it's an Android because I don't like Androids, but beggars can't be choosers. I mean, I'll get whatever I can, you know. It's too big? Really? I thought the 5S was smaller than the 6. 6S. Whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as it's the recording, the video quality is the streaming video. What is this? Oh, that's the background. Yeah. Oh. I thought the size would be a big difference, but it didn't really matter to me. Maybe Lori could relate to that. I thought the size would really matter, but you know what? It didn't. Lori, inquiring minds want to know, does size matter when it comes to the iPhone? I don't care about the weight. I don't care. You like the extra large? Kinda. The weight doesn't matter at all. I don't care about the weight. Yeah, you don't really want to feel like you're getting a peanut when you want like a beer can. No, weight doesn't. The only thing that matters to me, is the, oh God. The only thing that matters to me is the quality of the stream or the quality of video. So we already know the iPhone 5S has 1080p for the back sensor, which is great. It's fine. So, you know, if you don't want it, yeah, for sure, I'll take it. You know, let me know. Let me know if you want some money for it. You know, I'll give you some cash for it. It doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter the weight. I mean, it doesn't matter how much the memory is. None of that shit matters. All that matters is basically that it streams, you know? So, well, it looks like we've come to an end to the losing the audio jack kind of sucks. Oh, you're talking about the 8 Plus Fidelity Quester? Okay, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Losing the audio jack kind of sucks. You know, there is a thing, Fidelity Quester, where they have I think it's called the Belkin Rockstar, where you can plug it in and you can put the audio jack in and you can charge it at the same time. And I almost got it. I was thinking about getting it from, and they actually have it in, well, the last time I went into Apple, which is maybe a week and a half ago, they had it in Apple. And it wasn't all that expensive, but I just was thinking to myself, how often do I plug in an audio jack and need to charge at the same time? And it was like, you know, most of the time I don't. Most of the time I'm like, I don't care. I want to charge it more than I want to do anything, you know, so that's why I didn't get it. But they do have them. It is a pain in the ass though, but I think from what I know, the 8 Plus versus the 6 Plus is a huge difference, and I like it. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, I got cottonmouth. I'm tired. I gotta get some sleep. So that's the end of another wonderful stream. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you everybody for joining in, and I'm glad we had a troll-free stream where we didn't have any no issues or anything like that. I'm happy about that. I love that. So hopefully that'll continue. Yes, I hope I have sweet dreams also. I would like to have a wet dream, but I don't think that's possible. Hasn't happened in a couple of decades, so. Anyway, Fidelity Quester, stay safe. Well, I'm not going to stay celibate. Stay smart. Yes. NWO, thank you again. Redirect, of course. You know, I'm going to go back home on Friday. I'll be home Friday evening, and then I spend some time with the wife and the kids because, well, Alex will be gone. My wife leaves the next day for a couple of days for a business trip, and the next day is her birthday. So we have her birthday, we can spend her birthday together, and then she has to leave for 3 days. And then I'll be there with Nicholas, and that's it. I'll be all alone. It'll be me and Nicholas. So that kind of sucks that they're all not there. But it'll give me some time to spend with him. And, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, no Russian trolls.